Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube. Happy Monday. So, the topic I wanted to discuss today is how eating healthy doesn't actually guarantee you fat loss results, because this is one of the most common mistakes I keep seeing women making out there. And all that it comes down to is sometimes we think that eating healthy, going for the best choices in terms of health foods, is essentially what's going to make you see the fat loss results by restricting ourselves, by cutting out all our favorite treats, chocolate, takeaways, all of that. But all of a sudden you realize you've been doing everything right or everything by the book and eating super clean and super well, but you're not actually seeing the results that you want to see, and why this might be happening. I've been doing a lot of content on my social media around this. I know a lot of you girls resonate with it because it is such a common misconception out there. So I just wanted to do a more in-depth video to sort of break this down and to help you women overcome the struggle. So if you're somebody that has been super healthy and doing everything right but just not seeing the fat loss results, please watch this video because this might resonate with you quite a lot. A lot of the women I speak to are either cutting out chocolate, cutting out takeaways, being super good and super healthy for a short period of time, but they can't obviously sustain it in the long run because it's just not realistic to cut all of these things out. But even whilst they're doing all that, they're not seeing the results that they want to see. And the reason behind that is because we don't actually understand calories, and we're focusing on health and being healthy in order to see the results that we want to see. Okay. Healthy fats still have the same amount of calories as normal fats. So if we break this down, protein, 1 gram of protein has 4 calories, 1 gram of carbs has 4 calories, and 1 gram of fat has 9 calories. But a lot of women think that there's a difference between healthy fats and unhealthy fats when it comes to calories. There isn't. Yes, healthy fats should be prioritized in your diet because they're super important for satiety. They're super important and they're responsible for your hormone function. So women should not be restricting fats in general, such as avocado, salmon, dark chocolate, nuts, nut butter, anything like that in general, olive oils, coconut oil. These are all healthy fat sources. But even though they're healthy, they still have 9 calories per gram. So it's super easy to overeat on these. Same goes if you're getting a takeaway, if you get a McDonald's, if you eat chocolate. The fats within those foods, even though they're saturated fats, there's still 9 calories per gram. And again, they're super easy to overeat. They're even more easy to overeat actually because they obviously spike your blood sugars and make you crave even more of that. But the concept I'm trying to break down here is you need to be in a calorie deficit in order to see fat loss. So no matter if you're consuming lots of these healthy fats and absolutely none of these unhealthy fats, as some people might call it, you're still consuming the same amount of calories. And with healthy fats, it's a lot easier to overeat. So for example, an avocado. Everyone thinks avocados are amazing, and they are super healthy, and they're high in healthy fats. They're great for hormone production, and they're a great way to bring a little bit of greens and veg to your meals. However, they are also super calorific. So if you're having some sourdough with a whole avocado on it, you are going over the normal portion sizes anyway. So you could be having a couple of eggs with avocado and sourdough, and you're having a meal there that's like 800 calories without actually noticing it, whereas your breakfast should probably be in around 300 to 400 calories. So it's so easy to overconsume on these foods and not actually realize. When it comes to fat loss, we want to be seeing calories coming in versus calories coming out. So calorie intake versus calorie expenditure. And if your calorie intake is higher than your expenditure, you will not see fat loss results. So I wanted to compare and break down some foods as an example. What you're having for breakfast. For example, you could be having a Greek yogurt with some Biscoff, but you're going to say no to that because Biscoff is high in sugar and it's unhealthy. But it's actually lower calories. But you might compare that to the likes of an acai bowl, which is just pure fruit, so it must be healthy, right? But an acai bowl is actually one of the most calorific foods that you could have out there. It's still super high in sugars. Obviously, sugar's coming from fruit, which is things that we want to be seeing, but it's the toppings that add up. You might add some banana, some peanut butter, some granola as your toppings onto the acai bowl, and all of a sudden, this is over 800 calories. So to compare your yogurt bowl with some berries and some Biscoff, which might only be around 220 calories, compared to your acai bowl, which is at least 700 calories, which is actually the better choice for fat loss? Of course, it's going to be the one that contains Biscoff because the calories are significantly lower in this compared to the acai bowl, even though you might think this is the healthier option. Another thing people often avoid is like Coke Zero, Pepsi Max, any sort of sugar-free or calorie-free drinks like that have actually 0 calories in them, and they might have the likes of an orange juice instead. And of course it's high in vitamin C and you want to be consuming these things, but a glass of orange juice is over 100 calories. So if you're having your dinner or your lunch as an example and you're having a Coke Zero to satisfy the craving, it's not actually adding any more calories to your dinner. Whereas if you have a glass of orange juice, which a glass of orange juice is 250 ml, most of us have at least like 400 ml, that's going to be 100 to 200 extra calories you're adding on top of your dinner already, even though logically it might seem like the healthier option to have. Coke Zero, Pepsi Max, none of these are the enemy. They are not the devil. Yes, they're higher in sweeteners, of course, but would you rather have something that's 0 calories and higher in sweeteners compared to the likes of a normal Coke, which is high in calories and high in actual sugars, and you also don't know what's going into that stuff? Do you know what I mean? And that's not me saying cut out the orange juice. I love orange juice, but make sure you track it and make sure you don't think like, oh, it's just oranges, you know, it's healthy, there's no calories in it. There's a lot more calories in it than the Coke Zero has. Zero's in the name. Another one that might play on your sweet tooth is choosing a protein bar, which you're more than likely not going to enjoy that much, over an actual chocolate bar that you are craving. And this one is so important because, for example, the likes of this chocolate bar, it only has 96 calories. And when you're craving chocolate, you want chocolate. You want something sweet. You want something that's going to actually satisfy that sweet tooth, right? So having this for 96 calories will satisfy your sweet tooth. You are still very easily sticking within your calories, and you're not going to more than likely want more and more on top of that. Compared to a protein bar, yes, it might be the better option in terms of you hitting your protein targets and hitting your goals in terms of that, but if you don't actually want a protein bar and you don't want that artificial taste that comes with chocolate, having this is a lot higher calorie. Again, most protein bars are between 220 to 260 calories. Yes, there's 20 grams of protein in it, but a lot of the time what I notice women saying, and I know this myself because I hate the taste of protein bars, is you have this to try and satisfy that sweet tooth, but you're still going to be craving actual chocolate and the flavor of actual chocolate, and then you have this on top of it. So you've just consumed 300 to 400 calories for absolutely nothing, when in all reality all you wanted was this chocolate bar, you know? So going for the healthy option, like yes, this might bump your protein intake up a little bit, but you could also have this with some Greek yogurt on the side, with a smoothie or something like that on the side, which is going to more or less have the same calories as this one protein bar, but you're actually going to satisfy the craving and hit your protein if you're having something alongside it. And of course, one of my favorite ones is choosing the salad over anything else on the menu because it seems to be the healthiest option. And it is. You want your veggies in there. Most of them will have chicken or something thrown into it. Of course, a salad is super healthy. You're hitting your micronutrients. However, people think that a salad is perfect for fat loss, but especially if you're getting a salad out, it's one of the worst things that you can get on the menu from a calorie perspective. And the reason being is because salads on their own, let's be honest, they don't taste that good. They're not that exciting. So what do restaurants do to make a salad lovely? A Caesar salad, an example. Let's add a load of sauce to it. Let's add a load of croutons to it. Let's add a load of cream to it. Let's mix these random things through, seeds, whatever else goes in there. And all of a sudden, your calories for that salad that you didn't really want, you just went for it because you felt like it was the best choice to have because you're trying to be healthy, is actually double the calories of a burger that you actually wanted to have and that was going to satisfy your cravings. And when it comes to eating out, yeah, obviously going for a burger, if you're getting a double burger with extra cheese and all the toppings on top, it is going to be high calorie. But if you ask for it to be grilled instead of fried, you're already reducing the calories significantly. If you don't have cheese on it and had some veg on it, it's reducing the calories significantly. Do you know what I mean? Whatever sides you choose on the side, if you avoid the fries, for example, you are reducing the calories significantly. So when it comes to eating out, I know most of you are wanting this. You want the burger. You don't actually want a salad unless you're just feeling weird that day and craving a salad. That's fine. But when it comes to the salad, ask for sauces on the side so you are in control of how much you're adding to it, because that is where the calories add up. The lettuce has like 0 calories. Everything else around it could add up to 600 or 700 calories compared to this burger where you might have 300 or 400 calories just for the burger on its own, and it's higher protein and it's going to satisfy the craving that you're having, and you're actually going to enjoy your meal out rather than eating something you don't really want just because you think you're being healthy, and eating the burger will jeopardize your progress when in all reality it's the salad that's jeopardizing it. So yeah, if this resonates with you and you've took something away from it, then good, because this is exactly what I wanted. Going for the healthy option is not always the best choice. Sometimes going for the thing that's considered unhealthy is actually a better choice for your fat loss. Now, that's not me saying pick all of these high sugar things or whatever just because they're lower calorie in order to see results. No, you want 80% of your diet to consist of whole foods and 20% of obviously whatever it is that you want. But it's very easy to build your plate around it and actually have control around your day. So firstly, when you're building your plate, make sure there's protein on that plate first. Make sure that you are prioritizing a protein source and around that, and then add your carbs and fat sources on the side, and be mindful of the fat sources that you're having, okay? So like, throwing seeds, throwing oils over your food is not going to be beneficial for your fat loss journey, okay? So you might want to avoid these. You might want to cook your meats on firelight, as an example, instead of olive oil. Little things like that will really, really go a long way for you. And don't be afraid to add all those health foods along with your meals. So bulk up your meals with fruit and veg, you know, have loads of those foods, because yes, you want your micronutrients in there, but don't be replacing something that you're really craving with the likes of an avocado, for example, that isn't going to satisfy your craving, which is more than likely going to be double the calories consumed in that particular meal. And what I've actually done for you girls is I've created a free guide on food swaps and understanding why eating healthy doesn't always mean fat loss, and just different meal ideas in there for you to help you push you on with your fat loss journey. So if you want access to this, head over to my Instagram and DM me the word swaps, and I will send you over this free guide, because I do think you will benefit from it a lot. And if you are somebody that's just stuck in the cycle and you're sick and tired of doing the same thing over and over again and it not actually working out for you, I will leave my coaching links below and we can have a chat and break down the barriers that you're currently having to make sure that you're moving forward with seeing the fat loss results that you want to see, still eating well, still eating good, but still also allowing yourself on those treats and not restricting yourself in any way, because you shouldn't. And besides that, I hope you all have a beautiful Monday, and this sets your tone going into the next couple of months, and we shall catch up soon.